I'm Herbert Tsang. I am a violinist, and I've been playing violin since I was in grade 2. Yeah. Actually, I study in Hong Kong. I came from Hong Kong. I grew up there and studied music, and then I went to United States for university and high school. Then I moved up to Canada, to Vancouver, and that's how I came to Vancouver area. I study many different subjects. I study engineering, I study computing science, I study music, I study theology. It's very actually quite interesting because I moved here in '95, and I was having lunch with one of my parents' friend, and their kids is studying at Placis Art. So I was talking to them and said, "Oh, what about this?" And they said, "Oh, you should check it out." So I came after lunch. I came to Placis Art. It was at the old building, and just dropped by, and I talked to Jillian, and Jillian was saying, "Oh, we just happen to have a need for violin teachers. Why don't you come back later on and we'll talk more?" And that's how it got started. Well, I started teaching private violins. That's the main things, and then about 1997 now, 97, I talked to Jillian and so forth, and we thought, wouldn't it be nice to start an ensemble? So back then we started something called the Coquitlam Youth Orchestra in Placis Art, and we ran that for 5 years, and that was a chance to give our students our opportunity to play together in ensemble, which is not easily come by, especially for violin. Sometimes you play as a soloist, but playing in groups has its own dynamics, and it's also interesting to see how they can work together in a team for a common goal. So we started at '97, and that was quite interesting. We collaborated with different artists along the way. We have invited people to come and play solo with us, and then we go and perform at different locations in Coquitlam, and so that was quite an interesting endeavor. Well, it's interesting. I mean, I think I'm one of the old stable people in here. I mean, I've been consistently teaching since '95, so it's a long time now I think about it. I don't know. I mean, I think the Coquitlam Youth Orchestra was a new thing that we tried, and I think within that period of time, it helped a lot of students to gain some knowledge and also experience. Some of them, this is the first chance they play in front of other people, and I remember we performed at the different senior homes, and also at the Evergreen Cultural Center when they first started there. That's an experience that they don't come by easily, and that was quite interesting. I think it's an experience, providing experience, learning opportunity for students, and providing experience that they can take along to their life in the futures. I think that's the most important thing. It gave me a home, give me an artistic home. As I mentioned, that I do many different area, and for me, Placis Art is the artistic home for me, and that's why I only teach here. And also, I value the opportunity for my student to not just study music only, but when they walk through the hallway, they can see people doing pottery, they can see people doing dancing and so forth. I value the experience, and also at the same time, they can see exhibitions around the building. That's, to me, is very valuable. Compared to, say, for example, if you just study music, you come to the lessons and just play your piece and then go home, that's totally different. And I find this to be very enriching. I mean, even me, I mean, every time I see some new exhibition, I'm excited and I just walk around and look at them. So for me, that's great, yeah. I think the most fun thing in my mind was when we finished this COIAO, the Coquitlam Youth Orchestra concert. When you see the joy of kids when they see that they finished, like, oh, we're done, and that's of something that you don't see often. When they see they accomplish something, because they work hard. They work hard for several months and trying to get it going, and then they have to work with other people. And they actually went into the theater to play, and it's all dark, and then they play, and then they work hard. At the end, it's all done when they see their family and so forth. It's an experience I will never forget and always play. When you meet with them afterwards, through have a cookie or whatever. It's like, wow, that's accomplishment. I think it provides a artistic home for a lot of people around here, but also as a focal point. In Coquitlam, I think plastic art have been around for 50 years, and when you mention plastic art, people know, okay, this is a place for art. And I think recently we do more concert and faculty concert and so forth. I think that's a good thing to promote the center. I believe it gave a lot of people opportunity to expose to art in general, and not just one type of art. Like, it's different if you go and study instrument. Say I want to learn piano, and go to the teacher's house and just practice piano and do piano, which is different from coming to plastic art, which you expose to so many art forms. As I said before, you walk by the hallway, you see people doing clarinet here, bassoon, or different instruments. But also at the same time, you can see people doing dancing. You can see people doing modern dance, doing ballet, and so forth. It's a total package. It's an experience that you see, okay, art is not just studying the techniques of playing an instrument, but art is more than that. Art is a way of life, and you can see that totally in the plastic art.